So, well, finally come to our group presentation. So now we will talk about the story Searching for Summer of the author Joan Aiken. We will focus about tone and mood and present through the storyboard that our group designed. And we are group 4 and we have 3 members, Rita, Kelvin, and Hannah. So first, Kelvin will explain for you.
The tone and mood of the beginning part at the wedding was very sad and gloomy. In the book, it is described as whitish gray day after day, sometimes darkening to a weeping snake color. Uh, the whole atmosphere and everybody there was pretty depressing after the bombing. However, the two main cast, Tom and Lily, were surprisingly very happy and optimistic because they were hoping to find a bit of sunlight after living with a brooding gray sky. So they decided to set off on their honeymoon to find some sunlight. However, all that wishful happy thought and feeling slowly went away the further they were on their journey. As the second part of the story is about their journey across the many places and end up at a bar. And at the beginning, they were confidently planned for their journey, but then uh, each places they went across, the more sad and depressing it gets, and even worse, that their scooter breaking down, which is very unfortunate. The mood of the character changed significantly since from the beginning from happy to angry and frustrated.
So when they are so frustrating, they meet Mr. Knockers. They told him about their plans, and he just like ridicules, and he just think that this is a joke, and he thinks that their dream of fighting suns is impossible. And at this time, Tom and Lily intend to stay at Mr. Knocket's place, but they want to return the best for Mr. Hatching, so they start on the way to Mr. Hatching place. And as this sense of story, they feel depressed because everyone just think their plans is impossible. Next, Hannah.
So the mood and the tone in this paragraph is delighted and peaceful. So how did they feel when they saw the sun at the bottom of the cloud? So when the Gladys eye rays on the sunlight the first day, that they eyes they were in shock and almost and they almost couldn't believe it. The questioning is, this is really the sun? And after that, the mood of the play instantly changed, and it was quiet and peaceful. So Tom and Lily is sitting in a room, and have been discussed and at the peace seemed to the start of their journey in this little place.
Next is the following actions, and the tone of mode of this one is warming because after a couple of days they spend times in their Mr. Hatching's house. They work in the garden under the warmth of the sunshine, and when they decide to leaving and return to the town, Lily recognized that she left her lucky dress at the Mr. Hatching house, but Tom decides not to turn back because it will make Mr. Nugget follow them and fight and take advantage of Mr. Hatching place. And at the end of the story, Tom and Lily decides to keep the Mr. Hatching place peaceful, and they just think that they have to keep a secret about this wonderful place. So the tone of the move of the end of story is hopeful and happy. Yes. And now I will have a extra part, a small part of the song that's really suit with the story. So while you listening, you can enjoy our quick storyboard.
are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
So this is the end of our quick presentation. Thanks for listening.